All right.
Um,
Cool.
we are recording now. We're live action with Jesse Hudson,
Episode 2.
episode 2.
Yeah.
This one is going to be an interview for the big star, Jesse Hudson.
Well, I'm not the big star. For the content for the CTEfight.com website. And we're creating awareness for both of our journeys and what we're trying to do. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And I want to tell my story. I think there's a lot of people out there right now going through this and they're not even aware of it. But yeah, so carry on.
So, what this podcast or this episode is framed based on is just a few interview questions that I'd like you to answer. And
Hmm.
then, yeah, so let's just get right into it. How does that sound?
Perfect.
So, question number one, tell me about your life before your brain injury.
Well, my life, yeah, well, my life was my life. It was good. Like anybody else, had a job, working, bills. I was doing my thing, and then COVID hit. What was COVID? Yeah, COVID hit, lost my job. Then they lifted the restrictions. I went back to work and I found what I thought was my dream job. I was working at a ski resort. Like it was the
Nice.
facilities maintenance manager. Like it was awesome. Beautiful spot too, in Red Deer Canyon Ski Hill. And
Shout out to Canyon Ski Hill.
yeah, and the owners there were great. And then I ended up getting hurt. I had a very, very large beam fall from like 12 feet and land on my right shoulder. And yeah, that's what changed my life that day. And then we'll go on from there.
So tell me about your life before that moment, though, Jesse. Like before the actual accident, what was it
What
like?
aspects of my life? My life was decent. I was in a relationship. Things were, good. Just living. Doing my regular day
Business
to
was
day.
usual.
I'd enjoyed things like snowmobiling, going out in the boat, fishing, riding a bike every now and then. Things I used to do with great zeal before, and now I can't. I can still ride a bike, yes. I can still ride a snowmobile, yes. I can still drive a boat. Here's the problem. Snowmobile gets stuck because of my shoulder injury. I cannot get it unstuck. If I break down in a boat, I can't row it back. Riding a bike, yes, I can ride a bike, but the other thing is falling off and like skiing. I can't ski. There's just a few of those things I can't do because the risk of re-injuring my shoulder, I can lose because my shoulder's destroyed. There's nothing holding the outside of it together. I can lose the ability of using it as much as I can now, which is very limited. But so all those things I used to enjoy and just, also being in a better headspace. Um, I have PTSD now, depression, dealing with what's likely CTE. So, life was different. I'm not going to say it was better. It was better in aspects if you want to frame it that way. But, for the longest time, I looked at my accident as what happened to me. But now, thanks to someone that, helped me. I didn't listen at the time, but I learned after to look at how it happened for me. Hence is why we're here
That's right.
doing this. There's a need to create awareness about the elephant in the room, which is CTE. And,
Correct.
professional sports leagues, I'm not going to name them because I do not want a team of lawyers coming after me, or you or anybody associated with this. But it's the elephant in the room in some of those
It is,
arenas
yeah.
right now, because it's there's very little known about it. There's no
Correct.
known cure, there's no known treatment, and technically can't be diagnosed until you're dead. They have to slice your brain into thin slices and put under a microscope. So anyhow, but yeah, so life was different. I'm having fun now. It took me a long time to get there,
Good.
and I'll end
I'm
that
glad to
answer
hear.
there. So
So then just one last like part two of that question is
okay.
what was your day-to-day life within your own thoughts, within your own
Oh, I
thought
used to
processes?
get like anybody else, get up in the morning, do coffee. I smoke coffee and cigarettes, whatever. Um, and go to work, just your typical go. I was in pool league. Just different things I used to do more frequently. Um, and even playing pool is a challenge for me now because my vision isn't what it used to be. And
That's what I thought. Yeah.
yeah, that's hard. But it's yeah, all those. It's just regular life, like pretty much any other average Joe, working
Yeah.
stiff. I wasn't, I enjoyed my work. I always did. I love doing what I do, or did. I love working. Sitting around and doing nothing is not, it's not my nature,
No.
although I did do it for a couple years after I got hurt because I was mourning the loss of everything in my life that I enjoyed, but
Correct.
you know,
So then you touched on it a little bit about the actual accident, but for my second question, Jesse, I have tell me about how you got your brain injury. You did say that it was at Canyon Ski Hill. We're not um, putting anybody down at Canyon Ski Hill
no,
about
no, it
what
wasn't that.
happened.
It was an honest to God accident. A beam came, a big so a temporary support beam came down, and because we put the permanent one in, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, no,
It
that's
came
fair.
down, it hit me, and it hammered me into the ground like a toothpick in sand.
Oh, wow.
I've never experienced such force in my life. Pinned me between the beam and the wall behind me. So at the time, we didn't even know that I had head injuries.
Sorry, we have the alarm going off in the background. Do you want to pause for 1 second?
Sure.
All right, we are good to go. It stopped.
Okay.
I didn't want that to be going on in the
Oh
background.
well. Hey, sounds happen. There's things in the background. Life happens, right?
Correct.
Um, anyway,
Okay,
all you got
so
to do is watch my show. The cat knocked over Spencer here on me one night while I was doing my show.
oh
Um,
no.
yeah, he's my butler. But he's old and gray and he doesn't move. So anyway, so we just let him be. So yeah, so the focus was on my shoulder because my clavicle was sticking straight up and down, right? So
Okay.
I've had three failed surgeries. The second surgery, um, well, anyway, I'm not going to call that out. That's going to be a topic for a different podcast when we get into. I have a topic series that's one I want in rotation called Health for Real that we're going to do on here.
Okay.
Um, and we'll
Health for
touch
real.
on
I
that.
love it.
But yeah, so the accident, yeah, that's what gives it, nothing in my life scares me because I've been an adrenaline junkie most of my life. I jumped off an 80-foot cliff on skis. I've done some wild and crazy things. Um, but I still have night terrors about the beam falling. I used to wake up in where my bed would be completely soaked from sweating and whatever. And
So that would
yeah.
lead into the next question as to what has your life been like since you had the accident or the event which caused your
Well,
brain injury? So tell us a little
well,
bit about that.
there's two stages to that, two parts to that answer. Sorry. Part one was like the first 3.5 years. I basically lived locked away in my bedroom, watching TV and stuff like that, doing physio and stuff, and
Isolation.
having operations. I was on OxyContin or Oxy Neos or whatever. I was drinking. I was
Mhm.
self-medicating. Using other drugs. Mourning. I was in pure mourning, and then someone came into my life. Unfortunately, my girlfriend at the time, she wasn't aware that I had the brain injuries, but I knew something was off. I had tried committing
Yeah.
suicide 2 years ago on May long weekend. And it wasn't that I wanted to die. I just was like, I'm done.
Didn't want to
Something's
be in
off,
pain
something's missing.
anymore.
I'm just done. And unfortunately, you know, uh, my injury was starting to wear on our relationship. And then, yeah, it just that ended. So I ended up meeting someone, and not out of, there was zero intention of relationship forming. That was the wild part, but it organically just happened, and it happened so fast. And so I stopped drinking. I stopped doing. I'd already kicked oxys almost a year prior. But I just started going clean living and this and tried to re-engage with the public. And then I was out in public one day and I remember having panic attacks. Like it was like I broke down like 5 times. It was unbelievable. And shortly after that, I started tremoring, like Parkinson's like tremors out in
Yeah.
public, and people used to like, I get it now. People pointing and staring. It was hard. And then July 4th, my life changed exponentially. I had my first seizure. Um,
Okay.
and then since then, I've had probably in excess of 100. I had 10 in one day, actually, on August 1st of this year. 10 in one day. Yeah, it was a
That is
brutal.
amazing that you're even just sitting there not tremoring, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
well, it's I use cannabis to help keep me calm, and I have another thing, but that's a topic for a different show. But
So then leading into the my next question, I guess you kind of touched on it a little bit. How has the accident or event caused problems in your relationships or friendships? Like having seizures, I'm sure that's such a challenge to try to explain to your friends and family about having seizures. So can you tell us a
yeah,
little bit
well,
about your relationships?
some people who've never witnessed it, it's pretty alarming for them, when someone's sitting there going, but the thing is, my seizures aren't like those of an epileptic,
Can you
that I
describe that a
know of.
little bit more?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'm aware when I'm having seizures, so I don't
Oh, okay.
black out. Now, mind you, I've had a couple spots. I remember waking up one day in February on the floor. My laptop was on the floor. I was fully clothed. I was supposed to be going out the night before, and I don't remember what happened. And I had to really, really, I like after I have a seizure, I have these blinding headaches. So I'll take 10 migraines at once over one of these headaches. Um, and I knew I'd had a seizure, I thought, but I don't remember it. So I've actually woken up having seizures while in full seizing. So people around me, if they've never seen it, they get kind of worried. They want to call an ambulance, and I'm like, no, man, just it'll pass. They always
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I forget where the question was going. Sorry, this
That's
happens.
okay. No, it's all good. Just how it's affected your relationships and your friendships.
Okay, so yeah, so that the friendships, and then I will say how it affected my other relationship. Well, I knew something was up, but I didn't know, and not to mention I was miserable as well because of not being aware that I had PTSD, and I'm typical male. I'm not depressed.
That's that
And
mental
then
health piece.
mourning all those stuff. So two, not being able to get out of the house and do something. So I didn't have a lot to offer in the way of how was your day, honey? Type stuff. And anyway, and that just it slowly deteriorated, unfortunately, the relationship because um I liked her. I loved her. But things and stuff happen. So it is what it is.
So it was a bit of a challenge to say the least with your friendships and
Absolutely.
relationships.
Absolutely.
All
Yeah.
right, let's
Yeah.
move on to the next question.
Shoot.
What is a day in your life like now that
Yeah.
you've had the brain injury? So just go through a normal day to day.
Well, I know there are no normal days.
I love that you said that.
I can sometimes string together a couple days where it's almost routine.
Mm-hmm.
The longest period I ever went without seizures was 28 days. Um,
Can we just say for the podcast that during those 28 days we were hanging out? So maybe Candace might have helped you just a little bit
yes,
through
we
those
were.
days.
We
So
were
we
definitely hanging out. We were cohabitating, and you were helping me. Absolutely. We are not in a relationship. Do not think that, albeit I'm willing. Uh, anyhow, you gotta keep humor in this. We absolutely have to keep humor.
absolutely we need humor.
Um, but no, Candace is very special. She had a very profound effect on me. That was why, because the day we were actually moving in together, the first day I had 4 seizures and I was
That's right.
useless as tits on a snake. But then the next day we got in, and then after that I had because I live with a fight or flight response that's on a hair trigger,
And that's a
right?
PTSD symptom or side effect,
Well,
correct?
it is that, and then also too, because now my brain doesn't know what normal is, right? So,
Correct.
so we'll get into this. So I had the first seizure. So then went and saw Dr. Riley at Elite Chiropractic, and the guy's a genius, man. And he put me through this test, hence why I wear these red lenses. And there's more information
Amazing.
on that which will come out. But um uh
It's okay. we'll just move into the
So
next question, okay?
people who are watching this and may not believe when I say this, you've seen it twice now.
Yeah.
You've seen it twice, and I'm talking to the audience. You've seen it twice where my brain goes blank. So I have effectively two brain injuries right now. I have a front left cortex and the left cerebellum, and my left optic nerve is inflamed. And how does it impact my life? I don't recognize my life anymore.
And I
I am no
think to be
longer,
honest, we just witnessed it. We just witnessed
yeah,
it firsthand how it affects your life, right?
yeah, exactly. And I'm not the biggest battle. I woke up every day for 5 months asking myself, is today the day?
Mhm.
Is today the day I'm gonna just say, fuck it and check out?
And that's a
Because
depression response.
yeah, and I wish this upon nobody, but nobody knows what it's like. I've got plenty
Yeah,
of footage, and you're gonna start to see it now because there's a lot of people that are gonna be facing this double barrel shotgun straight down the barrel.
coming very soon, ain't it?
Yeah, coming very soon. Because the thing is, yeah, you got all the professional sports like football and hockey where there's concussions and such like that, and essentially it comes from too many concussions. I've had my fair share of concussions in my life, but the workplace one accident was the one that put the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
Yeah,
Um, um, but you look at the Jackass. I am the Jackass movie generation. I'm 51 years old. I grew up
exactly.
in the 80s doing tricks and stuff on skis, like, and stuff was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like I jumped off an 80-foot cliff. Who does that?
Jesse Hudson does.
Oh, I did. Not this Jesse now. Like I even look back on it now and I cringe. But I've been
Yeah,
chasing the high my whole life. And I get
yeah.
it because it's fucking fun, man. It's
Adrenaline
fun.
junkie,
Like all
adrenaline chasing.
the
Yeah,
good portion of the concussions that I got, I had fun getting. So I can't really bitch. You know what I mean? But the thing is, there's better ways to do it, and we can't walk this shit off. You can't hit your head and not go see a doctor.
correct. Or
And then
something.
and then we have what I call the Jackass movie generation. Jackass movies came out, CYK and all that stuff came out. And dude, it's funny. It's funny. But
Funny to
it
watch, and you want
inspired
to
a whole group
partake.
of young testosterone driven males to do all these stupid human tricks. And it's all over YouTube, and you can see how many times they hit their heads. And oh, I'm good, man. I'm gonna walk it off. Well, wait till the tidal wave of CTE comes in because there's a bunch of undiagnosed people out there. Well, you can't be diagnosed, but you know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
So
Hey,
anyway, sorry.
let's talk about that for 1 second. Being diagnosed or getting some help. What are some resources or help that people can get or go to if they think
Well,
that they might have a traumatic brain injury?
well, okay. Traumatic brain injuries, obviously, there's more and more stuff. You go to the hospital first off, foremost, or you see your family doctor right away. If you've hit your head, go and see a doctor. Um,
Just to make sure to rule out a
yeah, just
concussion.
to make sure, because if you get a concussion, untreated, CTE can develop with as little as three untreated concussions. Three.
Okay,
I've had excess of 30. Um,
that makes
anyhow,
sense.
my brain injuries with this workplace accident went undiagnosed for 3.5 years. Undiagnosed. And here's another part that pisses me off. It is common knowledge that a serious jolt to the body you don't even have to be hit in the head is enough to bounce your brain off the inside of your skull.
Correct.
I was hit by a huge beam and hammered into the ground like a nail into sand. Like,
And
come
it
on.
probably does break that blood-brain barrier as well.
Yeah, right. So that being said, I forget where we're going again.
The resources are help.
Okay, so right, Brain Canada, they have resources for TBIs. Boston University does the Unite Brain Bank. There's resources there. I'm actually thinking about donating my brain to them when I die.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, because that's what they do. They're analyzing the brains and stuff like that. But they're also leading the charge on CTE research. I forget the woman, this doctor. She's from Wisconsin, and
We won't call
amazing.
anybody out specific, just
Yeah,
we'll
but
keep
she's
it
she's leading the
very
charge on
basic.
research right now. And there's actually a couple good things with her on YouTube about the subject, which we'll be putting that content up on ctefight.com. So
If you remember, Jesse, just put it in the links or the descriptions below, and then that way people can go and check it out.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, I will put it in when I post it on the CTE podcast page. So
Beautiful.
which is at CTE Fight on YouTube. Let's get that out there. So yeah, so sorry, carry on. So yeah, those are the resources. I don't know, what else do you need?
I don't know. I think that's about it. When I had asked you this question in the past, you had said that there's not really help or support for it. And that's
Yeah.
why I think that we're bringing the awareness to the table that,
That's
hey, you
the
know
main
what?
driver. That's the main driver
Mhm,
behind why we're trying to do what we're doing. I want to create awareness about
exactly.
this, and I want to get people talking about it.
Correct.
It's
So they're not
it
ashamed, right?
right, and also too, it's there are certain organizations out there that say it doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah, no. And those are the
Well, just
naysayers,
let's just
right?
talk to Chris Benoit's. Oh, wait a sec. Chris Benoit killed himself and his family. It
Yeah,
happened,
exactly.
right?
Another
So
scenario
exactly.
incident of
So tell me it doesn't exist.
it exists
Yeah.
very much
Yeah.
so in our
Anyway,
society.
but yeah, so that's the purpose.
The
I
last question I have for you, Jesse, is what are your hopes and dreams for your future?
well, my future. Well, I I don't really think about it. I don't try not to think about the past because I live in the present because it's a gift. Um, I have a vision for the future. I'd like to get this up and running. I'd like to get a charity started so we can fund Brain Canada and Boston University, the Unite Brain Bank. I want to work with Play Safe Canada as well. We cover more on head injuries with young children getting hurt. I want to create awareness. I want to, yeah, I got a few businesses, we've talked about getting started to help raise funds for this. I'm not looking to make money off of it, but we need to generate, donations and create awareness because we need to get the word out. And I've
What
been
would those
self-financed.
donations go to?
Well, I have a GoFundMe. It's on the CTE fight.com website.
Again, we'll try to put a
Yeah,
link
I'll
in the
put that
description.
in the links as well. It's up there. Of course, Brain Dead DJ. I can't even get in and set up deposits because when I started the GoFundMe, I did it under Dr. Wardrums and needs ID. Well, my ID doesn't say Dr. Wardrums, and do you think I can get anybody at GoFundMe to help me? No, because now it's all AI. People don't exist anymore.
So we got to
Um,
get a new GoFundMe page up and going. Is that what you're
well,
saying?
yeah, but there's donations sitting in that GoFundMe. So, not that I want to access them, but I have to do this by a certain deadline. I take them anyway. But yeah, so yeah, that's about it. I have to use the boys' room.
Yeah,
Um,
we will stop it
yeah, we'll
here.
stop it there because I'm almost done an entire pot of coffee today, so it's catching up with me.
All right, sir. Well, thank
All
you
right,
very
well,
much.
thank you so much,
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
and we'll talk after. Ciao.
Sounds good.